Sunday evening here in London. Welcome along to Ask Mark Anything. We've had a fantastic weekend. Last night's DJ mix we did on mixcloud.com. So if you go to mixcloud.com/Mark Wilkinson official. Last night we had 572 people join us. Absolutely wonderful to see that. I'm so grateful to every single one of you for getting involved, sharing the stream. And spreading some good music around during these tough times. It's cold, it's windy, it's snowing. There's all sorts going on, but the music unites us. Music makes us feel good, and we love doing those DJ mixes. I love doing those DJ mixes for you on a Saturday evening, and Emma does a great job as well with the whole promotion piece. So I'm extremely grateful to her, and of course to each and every one of you for sharing that stream. We're getting stronger week on week, and we love doing it. So why not? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going, live remix style. I just worked out that live remixed is actually going to be released in 2 weeks and 2 days. That's quite something when you've been thinking about it for a decade. When you've been thinking about it for a decade, it's quite an interesting thing for the book to be ready in 2 weeks and 2 days. Big shouts to Oscar saying well wishes and positive vibes from Chicago. Top man. Thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate that. That's via Twitter and Periscope. We're live across 8 different platforms right now. And Sunday evening, we do Ask Mark Anything. You can ask any question you want. Just pop it in your comments, pop it in your chat box, and do be a part of this. As I said, last night's DJ mix was fantastic. Next week, we're going to need 600 to beat our last night's figure. If you want to listen back when you're driving around, if you're going out to work, if you are still going out to work, etc., or just working at home, just go to mixcloud.com/Mark Wilkinson official, and you can see all of it there, or listen to all of it there, I should say, throughout the week. And Jeff's just jumping in. Thanks, Jeff. Good evening. Great set last night, mate. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I loved it. It was particularly great, and there was some wonderful interaction. Really enjoyed it. Yes, thank you, mate. And Vishal's just saying, smashing it. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. So look, Ask Mark Anything. Life is good. I've had a few questions come in this week. Oh, hang on. This is a good question straight away from Celtic Alan. Celtic Alan, whose profile picture I love there of Andy Weatherall. That's fantastic. What's your take on cold water therapy? That's a great question, Alan. Thanks for asking it. I would say actually I've done cryotherapy. And it's really, really interesting. I stood in there for like 3 minutes in like minus 100 degrees, whatever it was. Cryotherapy will tell me. London Cryo is the place to go to. I think it's good. I think it works. And my body certainly felt better after it. Ronaldo, the footballer, does it after every single game. So if it's good enough for Ronaldo, then it must be good enough for me. Danny Rampling swims in the channel. I mean, yeah. He gets in there, it's proper freezing. He's tough, ex-army man, Danny, so he's hard as nails. But yeah, getting into that cold water in the channel, I don't think I'll be doing that. But certainly cryotherapy, London Cryo at Victoria Station, and there's another one in the city as well. I'll definitely go back to them as soon as we're allowed to get back up and start seeing clients up in town. So yeah, I would say try it out. I'd definitely try it. But try cryotherapy. You just stand in a chamber for 2 or 3 minutes and it's done. It's really interesting. Trish, how are you, Trish? Absolutely brilliant to have you back being connected. I used to work in Flying Records, as many of you know, and Trish was excellent customer, great DJ, just loved playing records and loved music. So Trish, thank you for being here. Am I fully recovered from my condition? Well, yes, is the answer. It's actually been twice it's flared up. Both times I would say 80% stress related, 80% stress related, 20% what I was putting into my body. Because the first time you could say, and people have said it, the Paul Ross interview I had recently, he said, well, what, your lifestyle surely, impacted upon it. And I can't argue with that. It probably did. It certainly didn't help, let's put it that way. But that was the dramatic collapse and the disaster that you'll read about in chapter 1 when you receive Life Remixed in 2 weeks and 2 days. But what I would say is that, yes, I've fully recovered. I feel good. I've had knee operations, so my knees are not as strong as they ought to be, and I'm going to the gym and I'm still working on that recovery. Will I ever run a marathon again? Maybe not. But yeah, I'm fully recovered. I walk pretty normally now, and I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep cycling and playing golf and all that good stuff. just not when it's snowing outside. Anyway, I hope that answers your question, Trish. But yeah, I mean, the whole Life Remix journey is a 14-chapter book, and I think you'll enjoy it. And any one of you, you can still pre-order it. You can still pre-order it at markwilkinsonofficial.com/shop. I'm not sure if we'll keep that pre-order link live after the general release, because it will be on Amazon and everywhere worldwide. So that'll be exciting. Jeff, I'll let you know about Clubhouse. I am on there, so just give me a shout about that. But Clubhouse is something that I need to look into a bit more. But I'm enjoying doing this. So I like to see you, and I like you to see me, and all that stuff as well. So, but yeah, brilliant. So please do just keep popping your comments up onto the screen, because it's great to have your interaction here on a Sunday evening. So some questions that came in during the week as well. This is a real beauty. How can I build my self-confidence? I used to suffer with a lack of self-confidence. Believe it or not, I was certainly a bit of a party boy. I was out there, doing my thing, but within I was actually quite lacking in confidence. And it was one of those things that I used to drink a lot and party a lot and everything else, just to try and make myself feel better and distract myself from doubt and fear and worry and anxiety and all that kind of stuff. So actually building self-confidence was something that I did have to work on. And particularly when I gave up alcohol completely, I've read somewhere that basically an addictive personality, which is certainly something that I suffered with, an addictive personality tends to stunt emotionally at the age that you start to engage in the addictions. So basically, I was 14. That's when I started drinking a lot of alcohol. So as soon as I was 14, I started drinking a lot of alcohol. I didn't really emotionally grow after that. And I was 37 when I gave up alcohol. But then I had to recreate myself almost as a 14-year-old in a 37-year-old's body. It was pretty interesting. But it was a great process. It was something really cool, and actually becoming self-confident and confident enough to do this and talk to all of you guys and actually be here and play my music and enjoy my life and do all the great stuff I'm doing now. It's taken confidence. It's taken self-confidence, but I've had to work on that for many years. One of the things I would say is positive self-talk. You've got to have positive self-talk. You must talk to yourself in a positive way. How many times you call yourself an idiot or say you're not good enough or whatever it is? It's so important to talk to yourself in a good way. You know what I mean? At the end of Rocket Man, sorry to spoil it if you haven't watched it, but the end of Rocket Man, Elton John's film, where he cuddles his little 3-year-old self and tells him it's going to be all right. We all have to do it. It's just a process we have to go through. So positive self-talk, learning to have positive thoughts and then positive feelings leads to positive actions. Only positive thinking can get you the life that you would really desire. And you have to think about sometimes when these sort of anxieties or doubts and fears and worries or worse comes into your life, are they really serving you? And the answer is really no, So it's really, really important that you look at that. And then you start to attract positive people. And when you start to attract positive people into your life, you start to get a real glow and a real happiness. And to be honest, putting this book out has brought some amazing people into my life already in the last 6 months. It's just been amazing, and the journey just continues and continues. So exciting times, and I'm enjoying it. So build your self-confidence. It's like building a muscle. You've got to keep moving. You will become more confident if you continue to work on it, and I hope that helps. So thank you for asking that question about how you can build self-confidence. Let's get back to the messages over here. I've got a couple more questions as well that are coming in live, but also some more that have been in throughout the week. So Trish says, I need to read the book. Did you go sugar-free? I think I need this. Yeah, 100% sugar-free. I would say sugar is, it's as bad as cocaine in many ways. Sugar is not good for the body. It inflames the body. And when you've got an inflammatory dis-ease, which is where my body ended up, let's be honest, I didn't drink enough water for 20 years. I certainly didn't see a green vegetable since when I was traveling around the world in airports. But there was too much sugar and too much everything in my body. And it just inflamed and collapsed and stopped working. And so I had to do something about it. So yeah, coming off sugar is really important. I still allow myself a little bit, and I'm not some sort of monk or anything, but I am conscious of sugar intake now, much more conscious than I used to be. So it's an interesting one as well, because we give kids sugar, don't we? we give kids sugar, you know, and the kids like, great, you know what I mean, all buzzed up and everything. But that's like seen as a treat, and it attaches good emotions to the sugar. And it's not a great thing to grow up with, you know. So yeah, I did have to go on a bit of a fast. There's a really good book actually, Trish, called Sugar Blues. Sugar Blues. I think it's by William Duffy, if I remember correctly. But the title is definitely Sugar Blues. Well worth a look, Trish. So jump on Amazon and look up Sugar Blues. It's a classic. It's an old book, but it's very, very interesting. Right, here's Lewis. So Lewis is here. Excellent. Hi from Spain. Yeah, okay. Well, it's hopefully not snowing where you are, mate. But yeah, it's struggling here. So do you believe that using pause and play, personal intervention related to you can help people with addiction and even suicide? And yes, I can see your spelling mistake. Don't worry. And I see that you've corrected it a bit further down. So it's all right, Lewis. Emma will forgive you because she doesn't like a spelling mistake, does she? But do I believe that pause and play related to the e-colours can help people with addiction and even suicide? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. I think that it's so important to become self-aware. And your e-colours tool in Equilibria, Lewis, which you know that I used 8 years ago or more, I used it for the first time and became more self-aware and actually turned myself from a DJ into someone that could go into the corporate world as well and be able to interact in lots of different levels and lots of different ways by understanding myself. So the question about pause and play is very much for those who don't understand it. E-colours is a system that we use, and I'll be putting another meeting, another seminar together using e-colours at some point in the next few weeks. We talk very much about learning to pause. So me, top colour yellow, and obviously top colour reds as well. Very fast paced, very like go, 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 go. It's very important just to hit that little pause button every now and again and know when to allow other people to have their space. And when we look at the greens and the blues, they're a bit more slower, steady paced, not slower, a bit more steady paced. And they want information, or they want empathy. They want to work with people. They're more steady. They sometimes need to hit their play button to be able to speak up. That's not something that affects me, obviously. But, you know, it's very important that people do speak up, you know, hit their play button and be able to speak up. So, yes, I do believe there's a real important piece in there around addictions with e-colours. And I'm looking forward to rolling that out with you, Lewis, because I think it's something that we can do worldwide together off the back of Life Remixed, which is exciting. So thanks for the question. Really appreciate it. So here we go. Dave's here. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Mark. When visualizing, do you look at your end goal or the next step in that goal? Asking about visualizing a house and should I be looking at my home and I want to move to the next one or the one I want to end up in? Good question, Dave. Great question. I would say I always start with the end in mind. So at the moment, it's quite an interesting conversation because Emma and I have been in this house for probably about 3 years coming up to 3 years now, which we love. We love this house. It's amazing. Will we move to a bigger one? Yep. Yeah, in due course. Although this is a pretty big house anyway. But we will move to one. And Peggy McColl, who's going to be on Straight Talking on February the 24th, the day after Life Remix comes out. Peggy's going to be with me again, 19 books. She's the queen of visualization and manifestation. And I'm studying and learning and growing with Peggy and with Bob Proctor and some of these amazing thinkers that are out there in the world. She always says, just go for it. Just go, you know. So Emma's like, well, perhaps we should go to our big house, you know, really big house and start viewing some huge houses and then work out how we're going to get there. She's got a book out. Peggy's got a book out called Savvy Wisdom. It's Bob Proctor says, I just love this book. He's endorsed Life Remixed as well, which we're most grateful for, but he's also endorsed this Savvy Wisdom. This is an excellent book to read, particularly the last few chapters, because it deals with exactly what you're talking about there, Dave. So we'll be talking a bit more about that together, because I know we've got a session coming up together. So that'll be really interesting. And yeah, I think visualize the big goal, you know, I think, up there. Set a goal so big that it scares you, you know, set the goal, because if you don't stretch, you're not going to go for it. That's the real stretch. You might need to take some smaller steps to get there, but let's see how that goes, right? But yeah, set the goal as the biggest one you can possibly think of. We've got Rodrigo saying good evening. Thank you, Rodrigo. Great to have you here. Alan saying interesting stuff on the alcohol. I'm on the verge of sacking it. The days we took it for granted, and you only realise what it does when it doesn't agree with us. Exactly right. I'm going to let you into a little story now. Let you into a little secret that's in Life Remixed. So I decided to give up alcohol, and there's a whole story around that. And then it was a Wednesday, and I was up in Scotland on this detox. I decided to give up alcohol, but I was DJing the following Saturday at the Ministry of Sound. So the following Saturday, I'm at the Ministry of Sound, and I'm standing there, and everyone's like, Mark, Ray, usual, because we've been doing it for 20 years. Have some of this, have a bit of that, drink this, do that. And I stood there and I said, no, thank you. 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 I was like, but what I said was, because I was expecting about, 100% of people to be like, you come on, have some, come on, what's up with you, sort of thing. I was expecting all of that and that kind of grief. But what I said to people was, I'm not drinking alcohol anymore. Thank you. I'm all right. I was DJ Ministry of Sound Saturday night. I expected a lot of grief. And the interesting point about this little story is that 95% of the people said to me, that's amazing. I would love to be able to do it. I was like, wow, okay. So actually, most of them were saying to me that you're really strong. I'm really amazed that you can do it. But I decided, decision. Do you remember I talked to you a lot about decision? Decision is everything. Yeah, if you're a bit wishy-washy, not sure, you're not going to achieve much. If you're decisive, like Dave, if Dave wants that house, decide, get on with it. If you're going to clean up your act and get healthy, kick the alcohol, decide and get on with it. It's important stuff. It's so important. It's so important. So Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Great to have you on board. Excellent. Really interesting comment about giving kids chocolate. Yeah, we do, don't we? My mum, bless her, she got me hooked. She got me hooked on the white stuff early. Thanks, mum. So I've always had like a little battle with sugar, but it is what it is, and a little bit of something's not going to kill you. But at the end of the day, if you keep addicted to too many things and you have too much fun, too much of good things can also be bad for you. So, it's very, very important. Matt's got a question for me. Have there been any unforeseen surprises that have come with your journey whilst writing and marketing Life Remixed? I'd say this has been an unforeseen surprise, to be honest. I've found my voice. Clearly. I'm now going to be doing Fearless Fridays at 3 p.m. here in the UK for my book publisher and across all pages as well, because I'm going to help other authors and get them motivated and move them forward. So unforeseen surprises. Did I expect endorsements from the world's finest coaches and mentors and business leaders and TV hosts and footballers? And no. But has it happened? Yeah. So that's been a pleasant unforeseen surprise. As far as the challenges goes, I would say it's more about, I was going to say time management, but nobody manages time. It's task management. And I'll be honest with you, Emma and I are flat out working so hard. Even on a Sunday afternoon, we're in here rearranging things, and we're doing the final sign off tonight of the layout of the book and all this kind of stuff. It's not, I'm not sitting around. I've got the Chelsea game on next to me here, by the way, but I can't look at it. But the point is that, we're working. And, Emma did say, she didn't realize how much work there would be in getting a book out, but it's actually been brilliant. It's actually been brilliant. And 2021 is just starting now. Peggy McCall would say, when the book comes out, your job is 5% done. You've got another 95% to go. I'm a bit like, well, okay. There's a lot more to do. That's part of it. Unforeseen surprises. Yeah, absolutely. And writing it got easy when Emma got me organised. Thank you, Ems. Brilliant. Dave's just saying brilliant. Thanks for that. Thanks, Dave. That's excellent. The book is out in 2 weeks. You pre-ordered. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that, man. I know many of you have, and big love to all of you who are doing the pre-orders. It's fantastic. Hi, Mark. Great to have you on board, mate. This is a great question. How's your mental health these days? That's a great question, Alan, because many people wouldn't ask it. I would say that I'm strong, and I feel strong. I feel calm. I feel happy. I feel relaxed. It's not an accident. I'm successful, but it's not an accident. I'm successful and happy. And therefore the success and the happiness just comes out of me. And therefore more people want to work with me. I mean, one of the other questions I got here as well for earlier in the week was, how do you manage overwhelm with multiple businesses? And that's really interesting. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not overwhelmed at all. I mean, we're working, but when you enjoy doing something, for me, it's not really work. I just enjoy doing it. But how do you manage overwhelm? Well, as I say, it's not overwhelm to me. One of the first things I think is learn to let go just a little bit. Yeah. Many people if they're self-employed, they create a job for themselves. And Kevin Green, one of my mentors, my business coach, says job stands for just over broke, because that's where it will keep you. So he's a smart cookie, Kev. But you've got to learn to let go. You've got to allow other people a bit of space to do what you would like them to do, and then also bring good vibes to what you're doing as well. So learn to let go. Get great partners. And to be honest, from my perspective, that started with my wife. And I've just built from there. But get a great partner. Get someone who's going to work with you, support you, get things moving. And then there's multiple people out there that will all be on the same journey. I mean, the amount of people I've got around me at the moment, I say on the DJ Mix, we're stronger together. We are. Every one of us, we're much, much stronger together. So no successful person has ever made millions and helped millions of people on their own, ever. It takes a whole team of people. So get with that, let go, get good partners. Don't try and do everything. You don't need to be overwhelmed in your business. Don't try and do everything. And this all fits into the mental health agenda, Alan, as well. But, so many people trying to do everything like, little mouse on the wheel, just learn to let it go a little bit, Be positive, of course. A positive mindset will get you where you want to get to. Make space for the things you desire. And the other way that I manage overwhelm is just focus. So I'm here with you now, completely focused on what I'm doing. And that's it. So, later on, I'll be completely focused on getting this book, press the button. It's ready to go to print. Just absolute focus. So do keep popping your questions in there, guys, if you've got anything you want to share or ask. I've got another third question here that I've got from during the week. So thank you for sending these in, because I really do appreciate it. And it's always interesting to hear from every one of you and to hear your own stories as well. And people share with me. I love people sharing with me. I'm a big top color yellow in e-colors, huge people person, 40% yellow in the e-colors system. So I can't get enough of people, me. I love you all. Dave says, success and happiness. If that doesn't scream to you, the law of attraction works. I'm not sure what will. No further proof is required. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Dave. I mean, the problem is the reason The Secret and the law of attraction might not work for people, and I've put this in Life Remixed, is that, first of all, they think that it's going to happen for them in 6 months or something. And it's not like that. It's a consistent effort for years, for the rest of your life. But it's also, you can't just be, I'm a positive thinker and force it. It doesn't work that way. Force negates. So there's no point in trying to force anything. What you've got to do is be a human being and be, and then you've got to get yourself to a point where you feel. And when you feel good and you put it out there, then success and happiness are the ultimate reward. I'm going to share tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I've got some stuff from Think and Grow Rich. So if you're around, guys, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., do come and join me online. I'll be across all the platforms again, as I say, for Monday Motivation. And I've got a few gems from Think and Grow Rich. But yeah, don't try and force anything. Let's be successful. Let's be happy, because that's what it's all about, right? Right. So one more question here. How can I get over my fears and go for my dreams? That's a beautiful question, isn't it? How can I get over my fears and go for my dreams? Thank you for sending that in. I really appreciate that. That's lovely. Well, the first thing I would say is you can't have faith and fear on the same subject at the same time. Many of you will have heard me say that before. You cannot have faith and fear on the same subject at the same time. So if I was sitting here being all like worried and like, oh, I'm going live in a minute, and if I was worrying like that, then that's not gonna help, right? But as it is, when I press the broadcast button, I have absolute faith that I'm going to be able to bring something to the table to add some value to each and every one of you who's tuning in. So I have that faith. You have that faith in yourself. I'm not asking you to have faith in a man who lives in a cloud. I'm asking you to have faith in yourself, and that's so important, right? That's so important. So have faith in yourself, because that will help you get over your fears, and it will ultimately lead to your dreams. Again, it will take as long as it takes. You might win the lottery tomorrow, but otherwise you're going to develop it and you're going to attract riches to you. And that's how it works. You've got to attract things to you. Fear, anger, doubt, worry, negative emotions, those kind of things, they push things away. That pushes stuff away. Getting the positive emotions, that attracts things to you. In fact, I'll share a little bit of something now from Think and Grow Rich quickly here. Bear in mind, he studied 500 million. Napoleon Hill studied 500 millionaires for 25 years, and he put it all into this book. So there's some things in there that you need to know. Okay, that's what I thought anyway, and that's why I read it. So the seven major negative emotions. I'll hold it up. The 7 major negative emotions to be avoided. Ready? And think to yourself, how often does these come up? Some of these come up in your life, right? Fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger. How often do one of those come up in your life, or any of those, or all 7 of them come up after you, in your life? How many of those come up? Yeah. So fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger. How often do they come up in your life? And you have to be really honest with yourself. I know that a few of those used to come up in my life quite regularly. And I was like, right, okay, well, these millionaires say that that's no way to be. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to have to change it. And thankfully, I decided to do so, because you need to attract things to you. And if you've got any of those 7 negatives, you're not attracting anything of particular value or anything to you. So that's no good. So the 7 major positive emotions, and this is how you attract things to you. Okay. Desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. Yeah. Now just imagine your life living in those 7 positives, just all the time. Having desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. How great would your life be? 500 millionaires, 25 years. It's all there. It's written down. I'm going to cover more stuff in Think and Grow Rich in the morning, but that's so important. So important. Okay. Got some more coming in here. May I ask how you maximize your coach mentor to progress yourself? It's a great question, Rodrigo. Thank you for asking it. I've had a number of coaches throughout my life. I'm grateful enough and happy enough to attract people to me. And I've worked with many different coaches in many different scenarios to grow. Yeah. And each one of them has brought something of value to my life. And they're all listed in Life Remix because I've thanked them all. And many of them actually ended up endorsing the book. Mind blowing in many ways. But they're beautiful people, and they're out there and they're helping other people. And now it's my job to help other people as well. I've got many coaching clients, and I love doing it. And the book is just going to extend that reach, which obviously I'm really grateful for. But I know there's so much value. Get a coach, right? Bob Proctor said, find someone who's living the way you would like, and then copy them. And that's all I've done. Find someone who's living the way you would like, and then copy them. And that continues to work for me, for Emma, for us, So really, really important. Really important. Okay. Trish says, how do you suffer from self-criticism, and how do you deal with it? Yeah, well, Trish, you knew me many years ago. I used to be my own worst enemy. Maybe I used to hide that from people quite. I used to wear a bit of a mask about it. But self-criticism, yeah, I used to be awful. Play a bad DJ set. I'd be criticizing myself for days afterwards, telling myself I was rubbish and should have done something better, or made a mistake, or did, honestly, you got to be nice to yourself. I've given quite a lot of public speeches in recent times, and sometimes I still get nervy when I'm giving public speaking, believe it or not, and speeches. And I'm going to keep practicing because I want to get better and better. But every single time that I give a public speech or I talk in front of people, I give myself a little pat on the back. I go, well done, Mark. That's good. Good job. And then I think, what could I have done better? and be kind. Give yourself a pat on the back. You don't need to grief yourself. You don't need to give yourself any more aggro. What I found was the more positivity that I gave out, but the more positive I became, the less I cared about what anyone else thought. And so as soon as I stopped criticizing myself, I also stopped criticizing other people. So if you find someone who's always criticizing other people, they're suffering from self-criticism. It's like holding up a little mirror and going, oh, okay. So it's really interesting, Trish. Really interesting, Trish. And thank you for asking it. I really appreciate you being here and stuff like that. Angela's just saying next dibs after you. I think that might be for Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, absolutely. Mentors, have you always had them? Good question. I think I knew everything. I think I thought I knew everything up until a point when I knew nothing. When I had an incurable disease and then got bankrupt, I clearly didn't know what I was doing. I clearly didn't have enough guidance, enough positive energy around me. My mum did her best. My dad died when I was 18. It's not their fault, Ultimately, I just went out and made a load of mistakes. Thankfully, I made my mistakes young enough at 38. By the time I was 38, I was trying to come through the bankruptcy and everything else, and that was the last part of it. And then I could rebuild myself. And thankfully now at 50, I'm very, very comfortable and in a great place. But it was really the rock bottom for me. When I hit rock bottom, that was when I knew that I had to reach out and get some additional help, because Bob Proctor, he said, your way isn't working. Your way isn't working. Try mine, is what he said. And I was like, yeah, go on then. Nothing to lose. Let's go. And it's worked perfectly. And bottom line is I did try it, and one of my things was, well, I'll try it. If it doesn't work, then I'll just put it down and go, oh, it doesn't work. And it does work, and life does work. And Lofty said on the interview that we did last Wednesday night with the Flying Records lot, right at the end, he just said to me, he said, listen, mate, everything you're talking about has worked. It's worked perfectly for Lofty in the last 12 months. And 12 months, I think, is a long enough time to actually really start to turn your life around. And yeah, do ask Loft, because he'll tell you as well. But yeah, really, really important that you get a coach, you get a mentor, you get someone who's going to guide you, and someone who can really give you some positive vibes. I'm going to finish up with this tonight. Just remember when I was talking about how do you get over your fears and dreams? Sorry, how do you get over your fears and go for your dreams? I said about having absolute faith in yourself. Yeah, have absolute faith in yourself, but also have absolute faith in the universe. Have absolute faith in the universe. Things just happen as they're meant to happen. You are meant to be happy, healthy, and wealthy, and you will grow into it if you have the positive mindset and you have the positive feelings and you have the positive attitude. You will grow into that, and you will become an incredible person. Okay, that's simple as that. It's just you can't not work. There are universal laws that says, like, you plant a seed in the ground, it will grow up and it will become a tree, a huge oak tree or whatever, right? So we're the same. We are the same. We just get detached from all this stuff. We get caught up in the negative mindset and the fear and the doubt and the worry and anxiety and all this other stuff, and it drags us down. And my job is to go, hello, let's start getting up, let's use music and let's use these chats and let's get ourselves up and buzzing and feeling good. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, you're right, mate. You're right. We did have a little bit too much of a good time for many years. But then when life changes, and that's what happened with Life Remixed, I found myself completely battered and just, on the floor. I had a choice. I could go and jump off a bridge or actually say, no, come on, mate. Let's start listening to some intelligent people and let's start, building myself back up. And here we are. So, with a book being released in 2 weeks and 2 days. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So look, big love to every one of you this evening. I'm going to go inside and finish off this book and make sure it's ready for you. So when it starts getting sent out in the next few weeks, I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm going to be here for Monday Motivation. Tuesday night will be 7:30, and that will be Life Remix Samples. I think we're probably on chapter 12. And then chapter 13, the one after that, next week will be on relationships, and that's one you want to watch. That's one you need to watch for sure. But tomorrow, Tuesday night, Life Remix Samples, chapter 12. Wednesday morning, I'll be on at 8 a.m. for Well Done Wednesday. And Wednesday night, I'm pleased to say, I've got, after the huge reaction, we've had 2,500 plus views on the videos for the Flying Records reunion chat that I did with Rocky, Lofty and Keith. Did that on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, I've managed to pull part 2 together. I've managed to pull together Brandon Block. So Brandon's coming back to Straight Talking. He was with me before Christmas. So I've got Brandon, Dean Thatcher, and those of you that remember Max, I've got Max, mail order Max, from Flying Records in conversation with me on Wednesday evening this week. So do, if you remember the Flying Records days, and many of you do, I know you do, please do share, find my profile, share the artwork around, get people buzzed up. Wednesday evening will be great. I'm getting a Flying Records part 3 together. And I've got some incredible guests coming up. I've got Peggy McColl that I told you about. I've got Marcy Shimoff from The Secret. We're still trying to get Bob Proctor. What's this space? But I've also managed to pull together some other club crews as well. So I've got part 3 of Flying. So I'm talking to Charlie and Ali and Joe Mills, and I'm going to try and track down Clive. And then also I've got the Ministry of Sound crew. I've got the UK Soul Mafia. I've got some wonderful guests lining up to come on to Straight Talking for 2021. We'll be talking about music. We'll be talking about self-development. We'll be talking about success and happiness and love and joy and all that good stuff. And I want to continue bringing the joy. So thank you. And if you want to listen back to some music, just go to mixcloud.com/Mark Wilkinson official. And Matt, I am also looking forward to that meeting. But I'll see many of you throughout the week. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., I'll be up bright and early with some Monday motivation. Until then, lots of love. See you later. Cheers.